Let's spend a few minutes on how we could systematically solve this. And maybe you already get the feeling that this is not going to be an efficient algorithm. The name already suggests this. And to not kill the exercise, let me explain the intuition maybe in more detail next time and first show the algorithm. The key idea is as follows. You know that in the difference multiset, you're going to have the contribution for the entire string, summing everything up. And because the numbers are all positive, that's got to be the maximum. So this 18 here will be the sum of all the weights. Can't be in any other way, and it also has to be a unique maximum. Otherwise, we can immediately say it's not possible. So we can always say there's a starting point at 0, and there's an end point at the maximum in our difference multiset. So far, so good. So the 18 we've already dealt with. That was easy enough. Now, how to continue? And the key idea to have is that from the remaining difference, there's again going to be some maximal value. And that's going to have to be the next longest substring that we sum up. Or apart from this 18, which is the sum of all the beats, the next maximum must come from one that has one less beats. We don't exactly know which and how it looks like. That's all complicated. But there must be some other distance between 2 points of length 17. Yep.
Maybe I got the definition wrong, but the leftmost number must certainly be one of the beats. So basically we can subtract that from the rightmost, and we have at least one of another beat that will certainly be sum of multiple beats. I mean, of course, this number can be there twice, but one of those will be a sum.
The tricky bit about your suggestion is I don't know exactly which of these numbers are single beats. But there's one where I do know, namely the smallest. The one has to, is that what you meant? Okay. Okay, the leftmost number. Yeah.
Must be one beat.
So these two together are kind of the next step we can make. The 1 is a single beat, 17 is all the rest. So there's only really one option. But how to place them? The beat 1 could be at any position. So the beat 1 corresponds to some distance here where the difference between the endpoints is of length 1. And where exactly that belongs on this line is a bit unclear. The 17 helps us in that there's some point between a start point and an end point that has to have length 17. And that's the longest. So the 17 can either start here and go all the way to here, or it can be the other way around. But it cannot be anywhere in the middle. Otherwise, you'd get an even longer one. So there's just 2 options that we have to check. And then the algorithm says, well, I don't know which one. Let's try both and see if we fail or not. And you can work this through on this example where it does get to a solution. But let me show the code first, because that's what the exercises pick up on. This is exactly that idea formulated in pseudocode. There's nothing else going on, but I want to make sure that the code is clear. So it's an algorithm that gets the difference multiset as an input. It starts by picking out the largest entry there. That's the total distance. And then it starts guessing a position. This should be rather called S, I think. It plays the role of these cumulative sums. So the collection of ticks, locations where I have made a position, and these are essentially the cumulative sums because I start at 0. So the naming is a bit unfortunate. We know initially we start at 0, we end at this total distance. but we know nothing else. And then we have a recursive function that in each case, maybe we're already done, we've covered all the distances, then we're happy. Otherwise, we find the next largest that we haven't covered. So we take the total difference multiset and we subtract everything, all the distances that we get implied by the current points that we've already chosen. And among those remaining ones, we pick the largest. And by the same argument, it has to be either flush left or flush right. And so you try these two options. And flush left means you add this largest as another point. That corresponds to picking this one. Then we had a tick here at position 17. And so we add this D to our point set. But we don't add it right yet because we don't know whether it works. What we do is we check if it already gives a contradiction. Namely, if it implies the current point set implies a distance multiset that's not contained in what we have, then we're doomed and we cannot continue. Otherwise, we have to keep trying. And then we do a recursive call with this slightly larger point set. We might still at the end come back. Yeah, there's a check missing. If it's not this no difference multiset. You only return if it succeeds. If it fails, then you keep trying the other option. And that looks symmetrically. You take the distance between the largest and this D and try again if that worked. And if neither of the two options work, then it cannot work. Yeah.
Why don't we know that the first two parts of the set are definitely, because if there's only one thing, it can't be the sum of each other, and the second thing can't be the sum of the first thing.
I guess that's right. It's just not clear immediately what to make of that second piece of knowledge. So you're right. What we do implicitly uses that the smallest number has to be the weight of some bead. And it's also correct that the second smallest weight also has to be the weight of some bead. But we don't know what to make of that. All we can use is placing beads somewhere. And the second smallest could be almost anywhere. I'm not sure if there's an easy argument to improve upon this. But keep thinking. Yeah.
We know that next to each other, the second and the first number is the sum of each other.
Do you know where to place it? Maybe we can discuss offline. Okay, good to see that people are hooked by the puzzle. This algorithm, the last thing to say, we discussed the correctness on the example. The bad thing about the algorithm is that it's an exponential time in the worst case, because you try two things, and what I would like you to puzzle out in the tutorials is that you can indeed make this go really bad. It tries things for a long time and still fails. And the overall problem, this Turnpike problem, is unclear whether it's NP hard or not. It has all the flavor, all the feeling, the smell of a hard problem, but we don't have a reduction, so we don't know.